Okay, and we're back with the match between InsertName on Infuse and elmikkino on Runebrawler. The Infuse deck, it's Infuse combo, but with the addition of Rini, send out our cleric. So basically, the deck plays a bunch of cantrips and rituals, and allows you to draw through your deck and dump a bunch of cards into your graveyard, and then that will discount your Infuse apparatus until it costs only 2 mana, and you play Infuse. Basically, you get all of your spells back, and then that draws you a bunch of cards and gets you a bunch of mana off your rituals. Notably, Infuse also puts all of the cards back into your graveyard, so you can bring off and play another Infuse or search for them. And
yeah, so this Infuse list has a couple update cards, so Rini, as you mentioned, but also changed the win con from Fast Passage, which was banned, or Unleash the Dragon, to Restad's command.
Yeah, Restad's command can basically kill out of nowhere off very little quote-unquote storm count. Like
yeah, the Infuse deck traditionally used to play a bunch of rituals to get through its deck to load up an Unleash the Dragon or get through the entire deck with Last Passage. This current list is just playing Audie's Invocation because all you really need to win is casting Infuse with Restad's command in the graveyard plus a bunch of cantrips. After filling up the yard, really, after casting Infuse, the game is basically merely over if it resolves. But on the other side, they can also win through playing Rini and just making a whole bunch of angels in a more traditional kind of Pyromancer, Envy the Wands type plan. On the other hand, we have Temur Runebrawler.
We have elmikkino on Temur Runebrawler, which was the deck that he won the last GP with.
So the deck has gone through a couple changes since last GP, mainly due to Confirm Hypothesis no longer going to graveyard when you cast it. elmikkino has made a couple additions of 2-mana blue spells for King Dancer targets, and as well as a couple of changes in the sideboard.
Yeah.
Most notably of Spoliate.
He also cut the mirror realities.
Yeah. So generally the deck plays in a similar fashion to Temur Tempo, or that kind of type of flash deck, except in this case it runs Confirm Hypothesis as the instant speed ramp plus cantrip spell to let you play higher mana value threats, such as Suburban Runebrawler.
Notably, this deck also plays Shifting Lands, and well, they combo with a lot of stuff in the deck. So first of all, Confirm Hypothesis on a Shifting Land just ramps you by 1 mana and also draws you a card. Also,
Suburban... you can do that on turn 2, whereas a fetch land from Hypothesis you need to wait until turn 3.
Runebrawler also synergizes with the Shifting Lands because you can play Runebrawler and then sack the Shifting Lands right away to trigger Runebrawler on only 5 lands. If you play a Shifting Land after that, it gets you 2 Runebrawler triggers each time. So they're like a fetch land, except they give you mana even before sacking. And finally, Shifting Lands synergize with Burning Up because they give you off-color land types very easily, which allows you to get a 5 damage Burning Up pretty easily too.
Yeah, so the important thing to note with Temur Runebrawler is that it operates basically entirely at instant speed, bar a few cards, whereas Infuse operates entirely at sorcery speed. So despite Infuse being really powerful combo deck, if Runebrawler definitely has the advantage in terms of kind of tempo, even if the answers aren't perfect. So for example, main deck, the only real way for Runebrawler to stop Infuse from comboing off is the 4 main deck Portal Fractures and the 1 Still the Pandemonium. But if Runebrawler can stop Infuse from going off and can get a couple extra turns, it is pretty easy for Runebrawler to kill Infuse with a couple of big Burning Ups for 5 targeting their face, or just activating Prodigious Spaniard's Tail to get an extra turn and deal a bunch of damage. So getting into the game, it looks like Infuse will be on the play. So let's see about opening hands.
That's probably really good for Infuse.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, both hands are light on lands. So Infuse is mainly looking for cantrips, hopefully Renew on Infuse, just do something. Whereas Runebrawler is probably looking for a playable hand with Portal Fracture.
Well, I think elmikkino got that.
Yep. That's a pretty That's basically exactly what you're looking for.
Well, I mean,
actually.
maybe you could have had more confirms and less shifting lands.
Yeah, it's not necessarily perfect hand, but you have Portal Fracture as your interaction. Panya can definitely get you finish off the Infuse player if you can get the tail, since Infuse can't really interact with Panya meaningfully. And then Sangjin as a instant speed threat.
And ramp.
So in case, and ramp, in case you don't need to Portal Fracture on that turn.
Okay, so both players are deciding what to bottom. Elmikkino probably bottoms to Sanjing.
Yeah, probably Sangjin. There's not, since Infuse isn't really interacting with creatures, there's not a chance that it's pretty likely the second one will be relevant.
And InsertName bottoms maybe Glimpse Beyond because that's just worse than Wheat from Chaff. Oh no, they're bottoming Flotsam.
Yeah, bottoming Flotsam makes some amount of sense because they don't have a payoff. They don't
they're
they don't
digging
have
for
an
stuff.
Infuse or Rini. So what Flotsam does get a lot of cards in the yard.
Oh,
It doesn't
2 Infuses.
actually do anything. Though Jetsam is actually pretty nice in this matchup dealing with Anya and whatnot. So off that Oracle Visions, InsertName milled 2 Infuses, which is unfortunate since they don't have one in hand. Whilst elmikkino milled a Queen Dancer. And one of the things about Oracle Visions or Flotsam in a lot of matchups is that milling your opponent can be really bad.
Yeah.
So in this case, it didn't matter because elmikkino didn't mill any spells. But
well, he also doesn't have any King Dancers in hand.
Yeah, but with King Dance especially, if you you were to play Oracle's Vision on turn 1, then that may actually enable King Dancer flashing back something on turn 2, which could be is not especially what you want, especially since Corrupted Memory, the Infuse's discarded choice, does not hit King Dancer.
Yeah.
So in sideboard games, we might see that an Oracle's Vision or a Flotsam mills a Forbidden Treasure, which is not a card that Infuse wants to see.
Yeah, that sounds extremely painful. And well, wait, elmikkino did draw untapped blue source.
Yeah, so we'll see if he fetches an island here or a.
Does damage matter in this matchup? Or does life matter?
Elmikkino has decided that it does not. In fact, it's a Shifting Glade with no basics.
I guess if your opponent's playing Rastad's command, you've already lost.
Yeah, so Confirm Hypothesis is pretty good draw, just
turn 2 confirm.
That Insert doesn't do anything threatening. So if elmikkino needs to, they can Portal Fracture the Infuse or the Rini. And if neither Infuse nor Rini comes down, they can Confirm Hypothesis.
So InsertNames
feel pretty good about themselves.
2 cards from minimum cost Infuse.
Yeah, so they'll easily be able to get there. We'll see if they play Wheat from Chaff to try and find it.
Well, if they find Infuse, will they play it this turn, or will they hold it so they can combine with Corrupt Memory?
I'm not sure. I think it's kind of a hard decision, particularly because you've already milled 2 Infuses. So if you find an Infuse here and it gets and you play it and it gets countered, then you only have one left in your deck.
Well, yeah, then you're on the Rini backup plan.
Yeah. So chances are they'd probably wait on it if they do it, though they didn't end up drawing it.
So InsertName's just going to play Consult for knowledge instead of holding up the clues.
Yeah, they could also Corrupted Memory here, potentially. Consult Ancient Knowledge does give you the opponent a card. So they decide to even just wait and crack a clue.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure elmikkino's pretty happy about.
Well, so elmikkino's, I guess he's deciding to. Well, no, he's definitely confirming right now.
Yep. So, and this kind of is a great kind of showing of what Runebrawler is trying to do, where confirm they had a counterspell up, but nothing happened, so they managed to confirm. And now they're going to untap on turn. elmikkino is going to untap on turn 3 with 4 land and play their 4th land, which will not only allow them to Portal Fracture with Wanderlust to get the 1/1 tokens, but they could also throw in Sangjin as well, since Sangjin gets the land untapped.
Yeah, and then next turn he gets to Panya Tail and then just do a bunch of damage.
Yeah, and that's probably lethal, actually. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's lethal.
Oh, yeah, with Burning Up.
With Burning Up, definitely. Though even with Sangjin alone, it's probably lethal.
Okay,
Sangjin plus Panya's 4, and then on time watch on it. There's another 8,
Doesn't draw
which I guess
anything.
isn't quite there. So
if insert name Artie's here, does elmikkino portal fracture? Or I guess insert name's just gonna dig before playing Artie's.
yeah, so it looks like elmikkino is gonna get the win here, since insert has not found any threat, especially with leaning on monkey shines. Not that its insert name has much choice. Anything that they do, it's really safe to portal fracture. So if they portal fracture this Artie's, which I think they definitely should, there's no way they can get punished for it. Whereas if insert name led on the Artie's invocation and they portal fractured it, then potentially insert name could go land and infuse the apparatus and win with a rest adds command.
Well, elmikkino is going to Sanjin first, as we've discussed.
Good play.
Yeah, I mean, they're used to playing the deck. They won the last GP with it, after all.
And they're definitely looking to win this game as well.
Yeah.
And this kind of highlights how powerful all these cards that Runebrawler is playing is, where they have a bunch of lands, they have a good board presence, they interact with the opponent with portal fracture, they even have more cards in hand, and they're just about to kill their opponent with panic.
Okay, insert name doesn't want to. Insert name has already seen the writing on the wall, so they concede.
So winning game 1, even on the draw, is a really good sign for Runebrawler in this matchup, because sideboard elmikkino gets a bunch of stuff with 2 Still the Pandemonium and 4 Forbidden Treasures, 2 Obscuriates to deal with Weenie if they even want it.
And what does insert name get?
So insert name probably, I imagine Cosmic Sinkhole definitely comes in. I'm not exactly sure how they plan on sideboarding in general.
I feel like they might go harder on the Rini plan.
Yeah, maybe. Though at the same time,
because Rini doesn't get.
Rini does not get hit by Still the Pandemonium or Forbidden Treasure. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure if Rini can win the game on her own in this matchup, because with burning up and potentially Obscuriate, as well as just insert names deck not really being able to vomit angels on the board that quickly.
Okay, anyways, the game has already started, and elmikkino gets an ideal hand with turn 2 Confirm plus Forbidden Treasures plus turn 1 Panya.
So they decide to bottom the burning up, which does make them a bit more vulnerable to a Rini.
And meanwhile, insert name has a hand with all the payoffs, but not that much.
So this seems like, well, with Give the Phoenix and Oracle Visions.
So Give the Phoenix.
Like there should be enough draw here. And then Corrupted Memory Will is a good draw there as well.
So elmikkino.
Oh, interesting. elmikkino did not side out the Suburban Runebrawlers.
Well, I mean, I guess he thinks that you shouldn't be siding out the namesake of the deck, right?
I suppose so. I mean, Suburban Runebrawler can be used to get back a counterspell, the ability.
Yeah.
Which is very powerful. At the same time, it does cost 5 mana versus a deck that's planning to win on turn 3 or turn 4.
Insert name, elmikkino mills is still the Pandemonium, but good thing there's no Cane Dancer in there.
Yes, that will make Cane Dancer to a live draw. Not that it's especially matters.
Insert name,
since they had a Forbidden Treasure in hand.
Plays Oracle's Visions again, and mills a Forbidden Treasure and a Bounty.
Yeah, so Insert has 8 spells in yard, which means that since the only spell they have in hand is Corrupted Memory, they won't be able to infuse next turn.
Well, elmikkino has 2 counters in hand now, so one Corrupted Memory does not answer.
So this is one of the problems I have with Insert's names list, is that 6 of the lands in the deck do not help you cast with Channeling Stone. So I guess Channeling Stone can name feature if you really want to. And Sujunga Sanctuary?
Yeah.
So it looks like they're deciding just to fire off the Infuse apparatus.
No, don't fire off Infuse into Forbidden Treasure. Okay.
Or just a big Corrupted Memory. Interesting.
I guess they're trying to hit Cane Dancer.
True, though. I guess there's no reason not to. ran out at full. Because if you want to hit Cane Dance, you need to at least glitch it once. And at that point, you're already kind of.
And elmikkino is not
committed.
taking it.
Yeah, so it looks like elmikkino is going to confirm response.
Okay.
Just
elmikkino has 2 counter spells, so
yeah.
He's not very worried about it.
Giving up the hand information is a bit annoying, but
well, if InsertName can take Forbidden Treasure and then just try to pay for Portal Fracture.
That is true. Yeah, they do have a lot of lands.
But how close is InsertName doesn't have a 2-cost Infuse yet. They're still 1 away from a 2. No, are they 1 away from a 2 Infuse?
After the corrupted memory hits the yard, they'll be 1 away.
Okay, yeah. So they can't infuse with back, or they can't pay for Fracture if they try to infuse next turn.
Yeah, I think I like letting the corrupted memory resolve and playing the confirm response, since per sideboard, Runebrawler does have a lot of counter spells. So between the Portal Fracture draw and the confirm draw and your actual draw step, you have a decent chance of hitting a counter spell, as well as just Insert not quite having enough spell to have a 2-mana infuse plus 2 mana up.
Flotsam. Does InsertName just play a fuse Flotsam?
In that order?
Or
because infuse costs 3 right now, right?
No, I mean like play Flotsam. I mean no, fuse, not infuse. Fused, like Flotsam, Jetsam.
I mean that just causes you to lose to the Portal Fracture.
Yeah,
right?
Rini you can name creature with Channeling Stone and then like just get Rini countered.
Well, okay, so so this is another problem with Just Sanctuary, where it cannot pay for Portal Fracture.
Well, so actually, Channeling Stone also can't pay for Portal Fracture.
Yeah. So
InsertName should be playing high priorities right now instead of Channeling Stone.
Yeah. So difficulty with this is that actually it just seems like elmikkino might be just in a fabulous spot here, because they have Bounty of the Garden as a major threat on InsertName end step, as well as if they draw land, Pania gets its tail.
Okay, I think InsertName realizes what's happening and is asking for a redo.
Which makes sense. So I think here elmikkino is just in a very winning position with how awkwardly InsertName's lands have lined up here, since Pania plus Bounty of the Garden is a most lethal threat.
Well, I mean, if elmikkino doesn't draw a counter spell.
Yeah, so if elmikkino specifically doesn't find a counter spell or land, then they're in a much rougher position.
Is InsertName just going to... Okay, yeah, he's going to go for a Rini play.
But counter spells and lands are probably most of their deck. And notably, if they lead Rini and gets Portal Fractured, the Jetsam does not hit the Pania.
Oh, right.
It's a Portal Fracture token. Though you can't really do it in the opposite order either.
Well, so your plan here is to play Rini, get it countered, play Flotsam, and then next turn play Infuse and hope the opponent doesn't have a counter.
Yeah, basically. And that means that if elmikkino draws a land or a counter spell, they just win. Whereas if they draw neither of those, so like a Bounty or a Runebrawler, they probably just lose. Maybe potentially like a Sacrificial Ball might be good enough. Exiling the Sads command. Another thing about InsertName list in particular is that exiling multiple things in the yard might just allow you to stop them from comboing. But actually, I guess in this case, they can just InsertName can just find a second infuse with the various draws in the graveyard.
So elmikkino is just going for a Portal Fracture.
Yep, smart to do so. This is a good game for like showing why I would personally have not kept Suburban Runebrawler in postboard, since if Suburban Runebrawler was a Obscuriate, for example, you could probably have let that Rini resolve.
Well, you still have an Angel left over after.
Though that you keep, I guess in this case, Portal Fracture wouldn't stop an infuse on the following turn, since the Shogun Sanctuaries could cast and infuse itself. Though if that was, I guess it doesn't actually end up mattering here. Though it's not like Runebrawler is doing much right now.
So I guess InsertName's thinking about whether to cast Flotsam or not. I feel like the
Yeah,
answer is pretty obvious, though. Like, you do want to cast it here.
You'd imagine so. The casting float sim, not jet sim?
Well, I mean,
Is there a reason to cast float sim? Does it do anything?
maybe it gets more stuff into the yard.
Yeah.
Oh, right, floatum's really annoying to resolve on cockatrice because you can't get bottom cards easily.
Yeah, so I suppose casting float sim makes it easier to win through a sacrificial ball or something. Since if the sacrificial ball hit the one with stars command that was in
Okay.
InsertName yard prior
Bounty
to
of the Gardens with the promo art. I see elmikkino's really
their very own
showing off.
promo art. And now they're going to be hoping to rip a land here, because that will give them lethal damage on with Panyo's tail.
Is that lethal?
That's not lethal. It only does 3. The InsertName will go to 7, and the game swings immediately in the opposite direction as Infuse will resolve on the following turn. A bit unfortunate that so many of elmikkino's counter spells were milled, and they didn't manage to draw any of them. One being taken, the only one of the 2 they're drawn. They drew one been taken by the corrupted memory, and the other did counter Weenie, but they would have liked a second one for the Infuse. Not that would have mattered, because InsertName finds the second Infuse. So the only thing they're worried about here is a Forbidden Treasure, which elmikkino does not have, or Cane Dancer would have the same result.
Okay, so wait, how many Forbidden Treasures does elmikkino run in the board?
I believe the full playset.
Okay, so yeah, there's still a chance of elmikkino having it then.
Yeah, it's not like there's any choice here for InsertName, as if they wait, they die immediately.
What's InsertName thinking about right now? He took way too long to slam the Infuse. And elmikkino is not going to make Infuse name play it out. I mean, no, InsertName play out Infuse.
Yes, Infuse name. Yeah, so the InsertName had 4 more cards that got them to draw 4 more cards in the graveyard, so they could draw those cards, cast Restart command, windfall their hand.
Man, the new Infuse combo is so much easier than the old Infuse combo, where you had to look through your deck multiple times.
Yeah, so here elmikkino has a very solid hand, 2 counter spells, Sangjin, and a confirmed hypothesis. Basically exactly what you're looking for this matchup, I imagine.
Yeah.
And InsertName has not a lot of payoff, but 2 auto invocations and a couple draw spells that help them fill up the graveyard. They decide to mulligan it. And they do get a better hand, I believe.
Yeah, I guess
Actually,
it's better.
is this a better hand?
Not
they
really.
They are really relying on this monkey shines hitting something good.
Well, yeah, elmikkino doesn't have any ways to deal with Rini if it comes down early enough. Or actually, no, he doesn't have any way to deal with Rini at all in his hand right now.
Oh, very true.
And InsertName's looking at their sideboard. So what, you bottom the Infuse here? No, wait, InsertName doesn't know about if Rini or Infuse is better here. So do you keep both, or do you bottom one of them?
The Shujanga, yeah, one of the lands.
Wait,
the oddies as well.
Does Infuse run any instance at all?
This version does not.
Okay.
Not main board.
So Channeling Stone is just better here than Genja.
Well, is it?
So is InsertName going to turn 1 Stolen Secrets? No. I guess he wants to keep his Stolen Secrets for the combo.
Fine, keep your Stolen Secrets. So finds a float some mana confidence to put in the yard.
Oh.
Well, Channeling Stone does not cast Rini. Audrey's Invocation off Channeling Stone does cast Rini.
Audrey's Invocation is countered by Urban Treasure and Seal of Panomium, even if Rini isn't.
Yeah, that's true. They'll have to see if elmikkino decides to counter the Audrey's Invocation or not, if that ends up happening.
So
even if everything resolves on InsertName's side here, going Audrey's Invocation, Stolen Secrets, they wouldn't have enough spells in yard plus mana to cast Rini. They'd be one.
Yeah, he needed to mill another spell off Monkey Shines.
Yeah. So Now, what are they doing here? So
They could also
Stones
try to restart command next turn.
for the
Yeah, for
Lemons, I guess.
you can restart command wheel plus actually modes 1 and 4. Like
Yeah,
does elmikkino have a way of dealing with token swarms?
Well, they could also just counter the restarts command.
Yeah, but if they
but I
counter
don't think they
restarts command, then Rini isn't getting countered.
Well, I mean, they counter with they have Forbidden Treasure and still the Pandemonium, which doesn't stop Rini, but does stop restarts. So now we have a similar situation as in game 2, where you have a discard spell against 2 counter spells and a confirm hypothesis. So will elmikkino side the same way to confirm hypothesis and not counterspell it? It looks like they are confirm hypothesizing.
Okay, so I'm assuming InsertName is just going to steal Forbidden Treasures then.
It's likely. Still the Pandemonium making a blue could potentially be relevant if the game kind of gets a bit prolonged. But chances are the Forbidden Treasure matters more here.
Yeah.
Now, elmikkino will need to draw some relevant stuff to get out of this spot. Since only having one counter spell, it will not be good enough here. It will make them a lot less enthusiastic to proactively counter the Audie's invocation, which they probably will need to do to stop the Rini from coming down.
Well, the thing is, elmikkino doesn't know that InsertName has Rini.
That's true. I guess we don't know how elmikkino thinks that.
Never mind, King
that's
Dancer.
a very good draw.
Yeah, I think
we don't know how elmikkino thinks InsertName boarded, whether or not they brought in more Rinis or kept on same amount of Rinis or.
So does InsertName have any way of getting out of this?
Well, they could always just run out the Audies, and if elmikkino doesn't counter it, then they don't have an answer to the Rini.
InsertName can weed from chaff and then channeling snow on creature and then just run out Rini that way.
That's true.
But the thing is, InsertName knows that elmikkino doesn't have Portal Fracture. And from his point of view, there's nothing in elmikkino's hand that can deal with Rini right now.
Yeah, so if you weed from chaff into Rini, then you will not have any follow-up angels. So elmikkino will have the one unknown card from the last draw step that you didn't see off Storm's, the insert didn't see off Storm's egrets, as well as the next draw step to find an answer to the Rini, which could potentially be up to 7 cards, I think, with Score Yates plus the Burning Ups. But I guess with how they cracked it, I guess they will, and they will have enough basic land types with the Sangjin on the 15 Cascade.
Okay, I think InsertName's just going for Rini right now.
Yeah, so we'll see if elmikkino lets that resolve.
That might have been a misplay.
Yeah, so this lets InsertName sequence it in the opposite way, where you go Rini into Wheat from Chaff.
And so let's see how long it'll take for elmikkino to realize that it's a Rini that's coming down.
Well, I assume immediately after 2 whites mana is made. Then elmikkino will need to draw some way to answer Rini, and on top of that, need to outrace the angel as well.
Okay.
Fortunately for elmikkino, they do have multiple counter spells for Infuse, though that becomes a bit sketchier with the Cosmic Sinkhole.
I'm assuming InsertName just discards the land and the restarts, maybe?
I'd imagine so, though at the same time, Cosmic Sinkhole, they can't cast Cosmic Sinkhole off the Channeling Stones.
Okay, they discard. They can't They also can't crack the clue off their current lands.
Yeah, so it could end up mattering that they bottom the Sejongja Sanctuary instead of the Channeling Stone on the first turn, because that gives them one less color for Cosmic Sinkhole.
Yeah. And currently, all the Channeling Stones are just strictly worth sanctuaries because InsertName didn't need to name creature after all.
Very true. It's possible that they would have wanted to name creature after the Channeling Stone at some point.
No, elmikkino has tons of lands, but not much action. Or I guess the bounties do attack past the angels. So elmikkino is probably looking to do an end of turn bounty plus Cane Dancer plus bounty.
I'd imagine so, yeah. The bounties being 6/6 are pretty large. And at the moment, that is actually outracing the Rini.
So InsertName
does not have any spells to cast.
Oh, I think he's just going to Cosmic Cinco whatever elmikkino plays first, just to get into the
It's
angel.
quite possible.
How close is Infuse to casting?
Oh, yeah, I guess they can't even cast Infuse.
The 6?
Infuse costs 6 right now.
No, 10 minus 6. So that's 6.
So yeah, this might end up being a very close game, since InsertName will have to race double bounty, will likely have to race double bounty, and you end up getting into things like Airy Pillar blocking, potentially. In this combat, elmikkino will go down 14. I guess, yeah, it might come down to blocking, since InsertName can only make one angel here with a sinkhole. Then maybe they find something with a clue.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, that does give them.
He already played a land this turn.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay, that's really bad because now they can't even sinkhole.
Well, the good news here is that they just need to survive one more turn, and then they can Oh, and
and they're realizing that Channeling Stone does not cast sinkhole. One of the issues with a Channeling Stone mana base. Now we do see Cane Dancer plus bounty, Cane Dancer bounty, big powerful combo.
You can remember to fill out that space in the bingo sheet.
So now the Sangjin can't get in here. Neither can the Cane Dancer. But just the 2 bounty tokens alone are a lot of damage. I'd be interested to see if potentially I guess the A pill is also blocked by the angel token.
Well, the thing is, InsertName doesn't have any way to stop Still the Pandemonium. So even if he does infuse, it doesn't do much. It just makes a single angel.
But it makes an angel token, and then it forces a response, which you can sinkhole, which makes another angel token. And at that point, the board's pretty even. So maybe relevantly, Still the Pandemonium making crackable treasure might come in big here.
Not seeing with the Cane Dancer. So do you chump with the angel here? No, right?
Well, no, because elmikkino attack with the Sangjin as well. I'm not.
Well, I mean, Rini also blocks Sanjin.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I like the Sangjin attack there, because elmikkino is probably running out another one at the end of the turn. To get an additional land.
It does InsertName draw a spell. Yes, they do. They can Monkey Shines.
A good spell.
So what can they draw off Monkey Shines that would save them here?
No spells. I mean, the angels do match up well against the bounty tokens.
Oh yeah, literally any spells would just be good.
There's like an outside possibility that an outside kind of angle that elmikkino should have countered the Monkey Shines.
Oh,
it's not. It's something worth considering. I don't know if it's worth doing, since you know that InsertName didn't do anything on last turn with 2 mana up, and they don't have the cards in graveyard for casting Infuse.
Okay, they got Weep and Chaff.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you would have really been paid off for playing Still the Pandemonium on the Monkey Shines there, even if it kind of intuitively sounds a bit questionable.
Gift the Phoenix. Is that too risky at this point?
I'd imagine so, because it means that
so how many
you die burning up.
That's 8 spells in the yard for Infuse. Or 8, 9. You're gonna discard Gift here, I think. Discard Gift, play Sanctuary. No, discard Gift plus Sanctuary.
If Insert discards Gift and Sinkhole, then they can play Sanctuary and cast Infuse, because that would give them 9 spells in graveyard for Infuse.
So does InsertName realize this?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily worth doing, to be completely honest.
Oh no, they can also just discard Gift plus a land and then keep a Sinkhole for another angel and then Infuse next turn. And no, they discard both their lands. Are they going for Gift of the Phoenix?
Gift of the Phoenix seems bold here.
What are they trying to do here?
With Angel. So that means, but they will be forced to. Oh, they're going for Gift of the Phoenix?
What are they trying to hit here? Well, so now they're dead to burning up.
Well, if they cast it, InsertName is still thinking here.
Well, they've already discarded both their lands, so they've kind of committed to it.
Well, you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, but like you could have just discarded gift plus a land if you're not going to cast it this turn.
But I mean, it could be right to just hold the gift and to potentially have a good infuse next turn. Try and find a cosmic, not cosmic, a corrupted memory or something to attempt to resolve infuse. Having two? Oh, cracking the clue? Trying to find a land? What?
You just discarded both your land. What?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
I think InsertName realizes that he made a mistake. That's all I can. That's the conclusion I
Okay,
can
so
get.
they decide to play the Gift of the Phoenix, and now elmikkino's in an interesting spot, and discards the infuse.
Well, I mean, I guess they know that still pandemonium exists, right?
Yeah, I guess they do know that. So, oh, there's sinkholing the Gift of the Phoenix?
I mean,
Interesting.
it does
I
make
guess
the most number of angels. And is elmikkino literally going to counter Cinco here? Yes.
Yeah. Well, you do need to cast the still the pandemonium here just for to get the clue.
I still feel like you should have countered the gift there, though.
Well, it's not like any of the cards.
Okay, and then InsertName draw and forgets to play their land.
It doesn't super matter. I mean, it's probably about to hold the land here just for the Restard's command.
Okay, so elmikkino's looking to top deck
Bounty.
burning up.
So Bounty is actually potentially good enough here with a couple different draws.
Does he have enough mana for Sanjin plus Bounty?
I don't believe so. I guess, yeah, because with Bounty, that lets you. I guess they're just thinning, just going very. I guess they're just committed to drawing
and they don't get it.
Yeah, so if you play Bounty there,
is elmikkino just conceding here?
Yeah, so that was a poor concession. elmikkino would have lost this to the Stad's command regardless, but they were actually still alive there, since if they made a bounty token, then all three of the bounty tokens are lethal. So it forced a chump with two of the angels, at least two of the angels plus a third angel or Weenie, and then InsertName would have 12 damage angels, but the area pillar can actually block.
Right.
And so elmikkino would go to 2.
And then he's hoping to top deck burning up, I guess.
Well, no, in that case they're just alive, since InsertName doesn't have anywhere to win it.
Okay.
They did. The Restard's command would have actually been the winning card because they didn't play the land. Well, actually, no, I guess even if they didn't play the land, it wouldn't have mattered, because they only needed the 2 damage off the Restard's command to finish the game, in addition to the 2 angels.
Yeah.
A very interesting end to the game there. elmikkino, I don't think. I don't think you give up anything for going for the bounty line, because you could have also. I guess you miss out on one thing because you can't Sang-Jin on upkeep. I guess you can't Sang-Jin on upkeep anyways because it put you at 8, which makes you dead to the angels.
Did either players get particularly good or bad draws this game?
I think both of them drew pretty well.
Yeah. But I mean, like elmikkino not drawing a way to finish close out the game, or like not drawing enough counters, or is that just like average?
I think it's about both players got about average luck.
Yeah. So I guess elmikkino like during that winter when he could have countered the Artie's invocation, he should have. I guess given the information,
it would have been a very different game if elmikkino did counter the Arties. But with the corrupted memory coming down the turn earlier, taking away counterspell, you don't really want to counter a Artie's invocation, since the Weenie will come down eventually anyways.
Right.
I will say that depending on whether elmikkino brought in the Excoriates or not, they might have gotten a bit unlucky there, not finding a Burning Up or a Excoriate, like 5-6 cards in that game 3.
Right.
Plus not in the opening hand as well, I think. I don't think they bottom anything Mulligans. Or bottom Excoriate or Burning Up, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was, if anything, elmikkino probably got a bit lucky having turn 2 confirm all 3 games.
Yeah.
They did have all 3 games, right?
I think so.
Yeah, very close games. Could have went either way in all three games. Even in game one, InsertName I think had outs to deal with the portal fracture if they drew slightly better.
Yeah.
Very interesting match. Really highlighted the kind of strengths of both decks, I think.
Yeah.